want abs, but you're working 50 hours a week. You barely have time to meal prep, and you definitely don't have time for 2-hour gym sessions. So good news, you don't need any of that. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to get a six-pack as a busy person who doesn't have endless time or energy. So my name is Frank. I lost over 100 pounds, and I didn't just lose weight. I got visible abs for the first time in my life after being overweight my entire life. And I did that while I was working full-time, eating out multiple times a week, and training around 4 to 5 hours a week. So if you're a busy person and you think abs are out of reach, I'm here to show you that they are not. You just need the right approach. So let's break it down. So first, let's clear something up. We all have abs. You have them right now. If you touch your stomach, you have muscles all over your body and your stomach as well. They're just not visible right now. If they were, then you wouldn't be actually watching this video. So you can do 1,000 crunches every single day and never see your abs if your body fat percentage is too high. So abs are revealed in the kitchen, but made in the gym. For men, visible abs show up at around 10 to 15% body fat. For women, it's usually 18 to 22% body fat. So this is why getting abs is fundamentally about fat loss first and ab training second. That doesn't mean you need to lose fat first and then train your abs. It means that your priority is to lose fat and your second priority is to train them. If you're not lean enough, no amount of core work will make them visible. So the real question here isn't how do I build abs? It's how do I lose enough fat to see them? So here's the part that most people don't want to hear. You cannot body spot reduce fat from your stomach, which means you can't only just reduce your body fat in your stomach. Your body loses fat wherever it genetically decides to lose it from. And unfortunately, the midsection is usually the last place to go. This means you need to be in a consistent calorie deficit until your overall body fat is low enough for your abs to show. So for busy people, for example, this doesn't mean perfect meal prep or eating chicken and broccoli every single day. It means tracking your food intake, hitting your protein target, your fat target, and being smart with your choices. Simple strategies that work are eating a higher protein breakfast to stay full for longer, being strategic when you eat out by choosing lean protein and watching portion sizes, and cutting out liquid calories like sugary coffee drinks and alcohol. You don't really need to be perfect every single day. You need to be consistent over weeks and months. So that's how I really gets results. Not perfection for 3 days followed by a complete breakdown. So as you're losing fat, you want to make sure you're not losing muscle with it, because muscle is what gets your body shaped, including your abs. So protein is what preserves muscle during fat loss. Aim for 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound in body weight. So along with protein, you need to be doing 3 to 4 gym sessions per week. 40 minutes per session is good enough. So this signals your body to keep your muscle mass while you're in a calorie deficit to lose body fat. So for busy people with limited time, you don't need complicated programs or hour-long sessions. Full body workouts 3 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes each, and focusing on compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench presses, rows, exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once and burn the most calories. So this keeps your metabolism higher, builds overall strength, and ensures that the weight you're losing is fat, not muscle. Or should I say mostly fat, because you still do lose muscle in the process. You want to reduce muscle loss as much as possible, because there's no point in getting to a low body fat if you lose all your muscle along the way. So direct ab training is actually what makes them pop. So here's the thing, you don't need to do a daily 20-minute ab routine. Training your abs 2 to 3 times a week for 10 to 15 minutes, it's plenty. The key is choosing exercises that actually challenge your core, not just going through the motions and doing endless crunches. So exercises that work are planks and their variations, hanging leg raises, and ab wheel rollouts. There's also dead bugs and pal-off presses. These exercises create real tension in your core and they actually challenge stability. So that's what builds defined abs. So the easiest approach is to add like a 10-minute workout after your training sessions, after you're done training 3 to 4 times a week. And 3 of those training sessions is add a 10-minute ab routine, and that's just the easiest approach, so you're saving enough time and not doing it any other time of the week, because you're already at the gym, you're already warmed up, so just stack it on at the end. So no need for a separate ab days or extra trips to the gym. So abs are one of the hardest physique goals to achieve because they require low body fat, and getting to a low body fat takes time, especially if you're doing it sustainably without crash dieting or extreme restrictions, which do lead to weight gain in the long run. So for most people, getting abs takes months or even years depending on where you're starting. And here's the reality, you can maintain your abs year round if you're being consistent with everything and doing something that you can actually sustain, not doing something that you know you will give up on within a couple of weeks or months. Always keep it sustainable so that you enjoy it and you are able to keep your abs for the entire year. But you can make them pop out a lot more for a specific goal, a vacation, a photo shoot, or just a personal milestone. So when I got abs, I wasn't doing anything extreme or unsustainable. I definitely enjoyed the process because I really enjoyed my diet, my workouts, and the months felt like weeks and the weeks felt like days. But at the end of the day, it still does require discipline, no matter how much you enjoy it. And what I mean with something sustainable is eating at a moderate calorie deficit, not really starving myself, a little bit of hunger is enough, and just being intentional with everything. I was training abs twice a week. I was aiming for around 150 grams of protein every single day and around 60 grams of fat, and then just filling up the rest of my calories with carbs. And I was still going out to eat. I was still living my life and I was still enjoying my weekends, but I was consistent for a long period of time, around 4 or 5 months. So that's the difference. Not perfection, rather consistency. So for busy people, you don't need more time in your schedule. You need a system that actually works with the time you already have. Your meal prep doesn't have to be fancy, workouts don't have to be long, and abs don't really require your entire life to revolve around them. They just require a smart plan and the patience to stick with it. So abs are simple but not easy. They require a calorie deficit, high protein intake, consistent strength training, some direct ab workout, and a lot of patience, because yes, it takes time. So if you're willing to be consistent and realistic about the timeline, you can absolutely get there. But remember, abs are a goal, not a requirement for being healthy, strong, or successful. Chase them if you really want them. You don't really need them to be healthy, and don't really let them consume your entire life or your mental health. So build a body that supports the life you actually want to live. That being said, if you want to watch my full training video completely for free, just click the link in the description where I cover fat loss beyond just getting abs and being in a calorie deficit and tracking your macros. If you want to apply to Work With Me 101, where I take you by the hand and lead you through your fat loss journey, you can click the other link, which is a type form, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. My name is Frank. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.